in Des Moines, thank you for your patience and for waiting. I know it's hot outside, and so we're going to get ready to rock and roll. I've been trying to focus on bringing the voices that I heard when I was growing up here in Waterloo, Iowa, and Cedar Falls, Iowa. It's the voice of reasonable, fair-minded people who get it, who get how you make a dollar and how you should spend a dollar. And one thing I know, growing up in Iowa, we as a family never spent more money than what we took in. That's called Econ 101. It's an interview that was given on Thursday night by the man that President Obama put in charge of turning the economy around. He is our current Treasury Secretary. His name is Tim Geithner. In this interview, the Treasury Secretary was asked what was he going to do after he'd left his office being Treasury Secretary. And I want to quote this so that we get it right. He said, "I've never had a real job. Your plan, I don't care how old you are, to be Obamacare." Not me. I was the first representative in the House of Representatives to get down to the floor and introduce the full-scale repeal of Obamacare. President of the United States, I will not quit until we actually have a full-scale repeal of Obamacare. Take that check to the bank. You can cash it all the way. I will not stop until we repeal it. That's President Obama's signature issue that he has passed in his presidency. And in 2012, he has to answer to the American people. The Congressional Budget Office said that Obamacare will cost this nation 800,000 jobs. Well, that's adding insult to injury because President Obama has cost this economy millions of jobs. So who, with all due respect, in their right mind, would propose a massive government takeover if it meant another 800,000 jobs lost? You'd only do that if you'd never run a lemonade stand. As a matter of fact, the Joint Chiefs of Staff has said, his name is Admiral Mike Mullen. Admiral Mullen said that the greatest threat to America's national security is our national debt. Yeah. Now, just think with me for a moment. Don't you think if you are the commander-in-chief and the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff said to you, Mr. President, the greatest threat to America's national security is our national debt, don't you think the president, as commander-in-chief, would listen? He's proposing more spending. That's right. I knew there was an Iowan over here. Not only that, he's proposing more borrowing. We're supposed to go into debt $2.4 trillion more dollars. No. Now let's think about this again. In 10 years, we've raised the debt ceiling 10 times. What's going to happen if we raise the debt ceiling and spend $2.4 trillion more than what we have next year? We're going to be right back off it where we were before, only a little bit deeper in debt, only a lot more deeper in debt. We are now at the point where we draw the line in the sand. As a member of Congress, every time that vote came up, I voted no on raising the debt ceiling.
All right.
And it is time to say no again on raising the debt ceiling. Because all of this overspending has led, in just the time that Barack Obama has been president, if you hold up a dollar bill, that dollar under Barack Obama lost 14% of its value. Are you better off now than you were 2 years ago?
No!
Is the dollar stronger than it was 2 years ago? America needs United States of America. We've got 200, it'll soon be 235 years of American history, and thank God for Independence Day. In just a little over 2 years that Barack Obama has been president, he has increased that 235 years of debt by 35% in just over 2 years. Do you realize how close to the edge we are as a country? But we are forward-looking people. We love the next generation. And I am here to tell you, I am unwilling to saddle my children and your neighbor's children with debt that we can't possibly pay back. We will not do that. That's immoral to the next generation. We will not steal from our children any longer. Look, I have nothing against somebody trying to make an honest buck. I have nothing against Wall Street. But what I do have something against is when private industry decides that they can do what they want and stick us with the bill. As President of the United States, I will send a letter out to let private industry know whether it's unionized or non-unionized, whether it's a public or a non-profit. I will tell them, if you get yourself to the point of bankruptcy, I'll be sorry, but I won't be bailing you out with the American people's money. They could not show us evidence, and so I didn't give him my vote for the $700 billion bailout either. Nor did I vote for the $1 trillion stimulus. Nor did I vote for Barack Obama's 9,000 earmarks. Those days are done. Can you hear us in Washington, D.C.? Those days are done. Years of a president who's not leading in this nation or leading abroad. We can't afford 4 more years of a president who had, in his own words, said when it came to foreign policy, he was going to lead from behind. When is the last time you heard an American president say he's going to lead from behind? Never. As President of the United States, I'll guarantee you one thing, I will lead from the front. I will not lead from behind. Because the United States of America is the head. We are not the tail. Nor will we be the tail. Nor will I ever apologize for the United States around the world. That will not happen. And I will never do what the President of the United States did to our ally in May. I will never say to Israel, you must pull back your boundaries to the 1967 indefensible line. I will not do that. We are living in a great time. We are living in a great day. The solutions to America's problems actually, like the old song says, aren't that difficult if you try. It really isn't that tough. All we have to do is take the reasonable, fair-minded, common-sense voices, again, that I learned from people that I loved and people who love me here in Iowa. That voice I've been able to successfully take to Congress. And the politicians started waking up in the halls of Congress. They know you're here. They're listening to you. They're paying attention to you. And I believe that if, as disaffected Democrats, independents, libertarians, people who aren't even political, Republicans, conservatives, Tea Partiers, if we come together in this coalition, if we stick together, then we will be a team that can't be beat. Oh, good to see you. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. Oh, yeah. You want a photo? Thanks for coming out. God bless.